Whiskey 9 Yankee, 7 November Golf, over.
Whiskey 9 go.
Whiskey 9, 7 November, interrogative Alpha Bravo.
Negative Alpha Bravo.
And this is 7 November Golf, Roger. Request you check your Romeo side. I'll go ahead and check my Tango side. 7 November Golf out.
November 8-5,
And 8-5, 7 November, say again.
Roger,
7 November, go.
Roger, I copied a while ago, 1 Charlie transmission that my thing used,
And 8-5, this is 7 November, Charlie. Now 1 Charlie, 7 November, go.
This is 1 Charlie, reference to your last, you're Brandon 158, enter box stop number 1200 between teams, that's local. Also request your unit take inbound records to see if we can try to get Whiskey 9 and 8 for pause with the playground.
And this is 7 November, Roger, stand by.
Got that.
Got it? Alright. And all units, this is 7 November Golf, my unit Alpha, Echo, X-ray Alpha, Alpha in there.
One Charlie, Alpha Bravo.
Yeah, I never took a dip.
Whiskey 9, 7 November, interrogative Alpha Bravo. Whiskey 9 Yankee, 7 November Golf, over.
Whiskey 9 go.
Whiskey 9, 7 November, interrogative Alpha Bravo.
Hey, another live Q&A. Ask me your VA questions, really any questions, but preferably VA benefit questions, and I'll give you my best answer. All right. 66, always faithful here. Jason, also, Jason, thank you for becoming a member. We appreciate that for sure. I'm still in Colombia, but we'll be back in April for sure. Is that like Colombia in South America or like Colombia, South Carolina or Colombia, Kentucky? Because if it's Colombia, South America, I would like to go to Colombia, South America. That'd be pretty cool. Hello, what's up? Thank you for coming. 80% till May. Thus should be 90%, but on IU. So I don't know what you're saying or what you're asking, but I'll say some general stuff. I would look at TDIU, a IU claim, if you will, as one big giant increase. All right. And this is a few things that go with that, like work history and what that looks like. 88 mistake. Thanks for being here. Appreciate that. JM Nandez 0311. We love these numbers. Why won't they allow vehicle adaptation for 3-wheeled bikes? It would be a great thing for so many who can't ride in 2 wheels. I don't know, but I have seen one person at my church rolled up in a 3-wheel bike, and it was kind of funny, I guess. But I'm not sure. Not sure. Stuck at 80%. Well, looks like you need to do the 5 steps, my guy. The 5 steps are found pretty much right here on the resource page. Right, let me zoom in so you can see. What are your servers connected for? All right. You go through the 5 steps here, and then there's a template, and then this pretty much has an example, right? So what are you servers connected for? That could be increased here. Next step is looking at secondaries. After this is looking at denials. It's difficult to portray denials. After that, you're looking at initial direct claims. Then next is your presumptives, your TARA, MUCMI claims, the 5 steps. Increases, secondaries, denials, new initial direct claims, then presumptive, TARA, MUCMI. That is how you get properly rated, whether that's 80% or something else, you know? Hello, what's up? Hi. Welcome. Hello, hi. South America, that's pretty dope, Jason. All right. White, new to the chat, caught you live, my brother in Christ. All right, dope. Well, white to you too. Colombia, yes, I do believe Colombia would be pretty cool. Hey, Q&A. How is the CRSC Soto v. U.S. case being affected by Army guidance to only backdate 2 months after application? So first off, there's no way I can speak on this. I'm not even tracking this case, and CRSC is out of the VA's hands anyways. So it would be out of pocket if I were to give any comments on that. So sorry, it's not the answer you wanted, but it's the answer you got. Congratulations again on the big announcement on 4/20. Looking forward to it. Yeah. Saw a little sneak peek here, right? This link doesn't work yet, but it will at some point. So we'll see. If you're 100% PNT, can you re-enlist? Yeah, for reserve and guard, you absolutely can. All right. You absolutely can. There are many service members who are in the reserves or the National Guard who are 100% PNT for various things. Right, as long as you pass that, you have to go through MEPS again, right? As long as you can get through MEPS. Thank you for your service, big dog. I see advertisements about veteran debt assistance, veteran widow programs. Yeah, I'd probably, anyone advertising to help you with your debt is probably a little shady. Hello, how's it going? Do you think calling the White House VA hotline would help with getting the contractor to finally send the 3 missing exams to the VA? To answer your question, no, I don't think that would help, but you're more than welcome to give it a shot. A veteran friend of mine said this could help. I mean, I don't think it will, but it does not hurt to try. Does not hurt to try at all, right? Increased claim 70-40 poking the bear. So I don't know what 70-40 means, but poking the bear only applies, my opinion, poking the bear only applies to those who are 100% PNT. If you're not 100%, you need to get properly rated. That's it. All right. There's no magic wand you can wave for certain disabilities. They got to be chronically, clinically diagnosed, right? You got to show a persistent disability with that diagnosis, assuming you got out decades ago and it's direct. There's no magic wand. So you just got to get properly rated. And if you're not 100%, you're not poking the bear. I appreciate you, Nerd Simplify. Yep. Nerd it is. I mean, you see my Smeagol here, my Gollum, Anduril, Flame of the West, my, let me show you this thing. I don't think I've showed you all this yet. Talk about some nerd stuff, man. Pretty cool, huh? I know. I bought myself this on my wife's birthday. That's a true story. Okay. Appreciate that. My claim is in processing in the rating stage. I will have some more medical information to add after tomorrow's doc appointment. Should I add it or wait to see what the rating is to not let it go back? If it's in the, like if your claim is being rated here soon, it might not make it in there, but if I were you, I would submit the evidence. Any evidence in support of your claim, because you have no idea how long that stage is going to take. Okay, now a stupid question. How do I go to the members on Discord? You already know I'm dumb about this computer stuff. Yeah, so if you become a member on the channel, like how Jason did, okay, let me open up. I need to share my screen for Discord real quick. So let me remove that. Stop screen, share Discord. You're going to barely be able to see it. All right, but this is Discord. When you join, where's the welcome thing? You'll be down here. On the left side, you won't see members only. You got to click introduction and then follow this video, and you link your YouTube account to your Discord account. Make sure you use the same email, and then you'll be able to see members only. And members only, you get to ask all your questions to a retired VA rater, Kishkin, and he gives you all the answers, and you can upload stuff here and all that stuff. So that's how you do it. Now I need to remove that and then get back to sharing the website here. Okay. All right. Did radiculopathy secondary to lumbar? Letter said no diagnosis has been rated in lumbar since 94. Yeah. So first off, you need to I'm assuming there's no diagnosis for sciatic nerve damage. Radiculopathy is one of those. So while your spine is service connected, which is the assumption, your radiculopathy has been denied because of no diagnosis. That's what it seems like here. So get a diagnosis. Should someone who's 100% PNT get the ID card? Absolutely. Yes. If I had my wallet here, I'd show you mine. You absolutely should go get the DOD ID card. Is it called a DOW ID card now for Department of War? I don't know. But you absolutely should get that card specifically because that will, you only have to get it once. And then, you know, if you want to go to Disney and get the Disney discounts for park hoppers or even the annual pass, which is new this year, or literally any other benefit within the MWR circle, you're going to need that ID. So it's just good to have. 70% PTSD, 10% knees. Okay. Do you need a Nexus letter for homebound? No, you don't. You don't need a Nexus letter for any claim. You need to meet the qualification, the criteria for homebound, right? And anything at SMCS and below is going to be automatic. Those are your automatic ones. I'm 80% now with IU. Had knee replacement surgery March 13th. So just like 2 weeks ago. And in May, the 80% because 90, not going to claim anything else. So your knee replacement, once it's rated on residuals, will not be lower than 30%. Okay, which is a dang good rating for a knee, might I add. And depending on your residuals there, it could even go to 60%. All right. But hey, your TDIU, this claim business ain't for you. All right. You can't work. You are what I would identify as the most vulnerable of the veteran population. So thank you for your service. All right. Pasty rat. What's up? Pastry rat. Pastry rat. How long does HLR typically take? No one on this planet can give you an accurate timeline. All right. And then even when your HLR closes and it's kicked to development, like a duty to assist or a re-exam or whatever that looks like, no one knows how long that's going to take either. So I'm sorry to answer you that way, but that is the answer. Took less than a week to get DBQs through online FOIA. Yes, when you're requesting specific things, it's pretty fast. Not super thrilled with examiner. A lot of missed steps and range of motions not properly done. Didn't capture knee extension, which is a bad one for me. Sounds like you need to do a personal statement explaining the C&P exam. And then when the VA ignores it, because they probably will, at least you have grounds for a higher level review there. Hey, I'm at 70, and I'm making some assumptions on that as well. I'm at 70% PTSD and just diagnosed sleep apnea, claim as secondary to PTSD. That's the go-to secondary claim, but it's not a one-size-fits-all, right? You still need, like here's our common secondaries. And so if you go to mental health, you'll see sleep apnea is number 1 on common secondaries here. It's not a one-size-fits-all. You still need to understand the correlating factors that are in your favor and the correlating factors that are not in your favor. So for instance, if you're 300 pounds, well, hot dog, your sleep apnea probably came from you being fat versus your PTSD. right? So if weight gain is not in your favor, you need to figure out, hey, and I'm just making a hypothetical scenario here, is my weight gain due to the 40% back condition I have, which is IBDS, and my double knee replacements. And I'm on an antidepressant for PTSD, which is known to cause weight gain, right? All of a sudden, it takes that obesity that's not in your favor and it turns it around to in your favor. So you really have to think of, what is your sleep apnea connected to really? And that's a conversation you have with your provider, healthcare team. Appreciate the honesty, even if you don't have a solid answer. Speaks to integrity. Thanks for keeping it real. Yeah, I do my best here. CRSC is not my cup of tea. I'm at 80%, and I'm currently hoping for an increase in migraines from 30 to 50, and hopefully my sleep apnea hits. Also, I have a good buddy for my sleep apnea along with documentation. Okay. I will speak on all of this. So migraines 30 to 50, what I would do. So the RVSR has a lot of discretion. The rater has a lot of discretion when it comes to that 50% rating for migraines. And then on top of that, the DBQ is so, I would say, ambiguous to the CMP examiner that they're lost in the sauce anyways. So increase for migraines, what does that look like? How would I approach it? Is hardcore medical evidence. If you've seen this channel, talk about migraines before, I've been very open about my migraines. This is my rescue medication. It's awesome. This is evidence. This is another rescue medication called rizatriptan. I don't know how to pronounce that, so I'll just say rizatriptan. This is very strong, knocks me out. This is another treatment that I'm on. GammaCore, proud partner. You can get yours through the VA for free. All right. Ask about GammaCore. It's a vagus nerve stimulator. I do this twice in the morning, twice in the evening, and then I'm on a preventative. Right. That's 4 treatments. I'm on a preventative every night, which is also an antidepressant and a sleep medication, and it is beautiful. All right. And now with all that medication, I can write a statement and say, hey, I've been missing, paraphrase this. I'm just thinking off the top of my head. I've been missing work X amount of days per week as evidenced by evidence, and a timesheet, right? And you're really speaking to that rater who has that discretion when it comes to that 50% rating for migraines. So that'd be my advice there. As far as sleep apnea goes, I mean, if you had the diagnosis, then you have it. That's not an issue. I'm not sure how a buddy letter would help you with that unless you're claiming like direct, which would be I would argue a reach, a far leap. I need to actually hold on. I'm going to answer more questions here in a second, but since I said GammaCore, I have to check a box on YouTube or else I get in trouble. So let me do that first. Because I don't want to get in trouble. In trouble bad. GammaCore soft. Boom. Boom. Save. Boom. Okay, we're good. We're all good now. All right, questions. Who helps with a proposal? Dude, I saw your comment on Raider HQ's video today, by the way. Absolutely hilarious. So funny. Who helps someone with a proposal to reduce since there's nothing in it for accredited or unaccredited agents? Yeah, so Devil Dog, let me tell you this. I can't speak for other people. Okay, my wife texted me. Hold on. All right, whatever. I can't speak for what other people do, but I can tell you what we're going to do is we're not going to turn away a veteran. Unless you need a board of veteran appeals, then we're going to kick you to someone else, or you're TDIU. And we're not dealing with that. All right. And so speaking for what we're going to do right here, once this goes live, we would help you right now. Assuming you're dealing with a proposal right now, I know that's no help to you, but you could appeal it, give yourself more of a window, and if you wanted to wait for us, you could. But just know that you don't have to. You can fight that with the VSO or fight it on your own or whatever. But I understand what you're saying. That's why we made the decision not to, even if a veteran has nothing but initial claims and we don't get anything from it, we're still going to help that veteran. So we've made that statement to ourselves, right? Okay. Going in for yearly checkup in April. Been having GERD and sinus problems lately. How many times do I have to complain for these problems before I can get diagnosed with them? So assuming you're seeking VA healthcare, the VA uses treatment codes. Now, I've covered this before. I just don't know if that video was made private or not. I'll redo it anyways because I made a new playlist called Tools. I need to update that. Long story short, you need to go in, Jacob, your blue button report. This is the easiest thing to do. It sounds complicated. It's not. Download your health records. I would show you mine right now, but I can't redact them live, right? And I don't want people to know my whole health history. But download your blue button report, hit Control F, SCT, and then do it again, Control F for ICD. And the SCT is, a very basic way to explain it. It's like a treatment code. It's how the VA tracks your treatment. It's not a diagnosis, but for VA rating purposes, you have documented symptoms. You're being treated for those. And then you can go ahead and submit the claim, right? So to give you an example of when it wouldn't be a diagnosis, my kids have very serious, very, very serious health issues in their kidneys. And so when I got acquainted with the VA in 2019, they wanted to check my kidneys, right? And so I did an ultrasound for kidneys. That was an SCT code, which is for treatment, but I knew the result of that didn't come back as I had kidney issues, right? So SCT is not a diagnosis, but for VBA rating purposes, with documented symptoms, it's good enough. I hope that makes sense. So download blue button report. It takes 3 seconds. Control F, SCT, Control F, ICD. That's how you find your diagnosis. And I need to redo that video because I'm pretty sure it's now private because I'm an idiot. And do that. I'm gonna check just to make sure. Where is this at? Now it's gonna bother me. Okay, you gotta take my word for it. I'll redo it sometimes. Did you guys recommend AME? I'm getting ready to use them. So I do. I'm an affiliate partner of American Medical Experts, okay, until April 20th. That's my last day when I'm cutting that contract. But I will tell you this. There's zero indications of them being involved in fraud. I'm choosing to separate myself from them simply on this new venture that we're doing. And I'm not separating myself from Dr. Sharma, mainly because I know him personally. Like, I don't know the doctors at AME. like on a personal level. And so that's my reasoning, right? So use them if you want. If not, that's totally cool. Use Concise Psych if you want. That'd be my recommendation. You guys are really throwing on the heavy questions tonight. Okay. I was rated for PTSD in June last year, 30%. I believe that's a low rating. What's my chance if I appeal it? It would get lowered. I'm at 80% overall. Yeah, so this is what sucks here. So first off, you'd have to do an HLR as your appeal. In CCK right now is in court. Don't quote me on this. This was a while ago. I haven't followed up on it. But they were talking about what if you appealed a decision, but the VA would label that as an increase, like if you did a supplemental, and therefore it cuts the retroactive pay, which is why CCK cared about it. That's a long story short. But yeah, it would be an HLR for your typical appeal here. And what sucks is you would need a slam dunk on this would be documented symptoms that show very heavily or favorably at 50% or higher. If not, you're going to have to get more evidence, get more documented symptoms, and do an increased claim. So it's June of last year, which is coming up pretty fast. So are you rolling out an AI program? I mean, I am partnered with and I partially own VeteranAI. So if that's what you're talking about, I guess yes. But like I'm not a developer. I just talk about it on YouTube. That's my role. I don't do anything else. And then the new tools you saw today, they weren't AI. In how we use them, it's not AI, but it just takes advantage of the VA's API when it comes to the information that they don't share with us. So. Submitted IMO for PTSD increase along with secondary sleep apnea, GERD, and gout. Okay, that's a lot. Also, no Nexus letter required for increases. That would just be a DBQ there. I was sent for DBQ for gout and GERD. Also interrogated for PTSD increase. Well, you did submit the claim. Then was put on a 30-day hold for Southwest Asia exposure. Could be conceding, right? The VA conceding that exposure there for the Terra thing, and then linking maybe GERD, maybe gout to exposure, which would then lead me to believe that the secondary was denied, right? If you've already had your exam for that. I'm curious. That's my first initial thoughts on this. Obviously, without access, I'm just grasping at straws here, but that's my first guess. It's not uncommon to be denied under multiple theories of service connection for one claim, which is kind of funny. It's like the VA punching you in the face 2 times. You know, it says, hey, there's no evidence in service of GERD, which is direct. CMP rationale, yada, 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 got denied for secondary, and then you got denied for exposure. So you can easily be denied 3 times on one claim, which is funny in a not funny way. Dundati, who are you? What do you do? Go to channel. Let's go look at this one's. You play basketball? Who's your favorite college team? That will determine if we collab or not. All right, I was in a MLRS unit. Have been denied for tinnitus. Love the saber. I guess that's what you're asking. Okay. I would want to know the nature of that denial. I mean, you're really making it difficult here. I would want to read your decision letter and figure out why you were denied. What rationale did the CMP examiner use? If it's an instance where the CMP examiner said that you've denied having ringing in your ears, why were you denied specifically? And I'm assuming you mean tinnitus and not like tendinitis, just because you mentioned your unit here. All right, is evidence listed in the evidence, but rationale says it's not grounds for HLR? Is evidence listed in the evidence? I don't know what you mean by rationale says it's not there, grounds for HLR. And I'm curious if you're talking about like a private DBQ and it's not listed there. If that's the case, you probably had an exam and then were denied via the exam. And so your private DBQ is not going to be used anyways. And so you wouldn't see it there. I have questions for you before I can answer this question. What's a typical path to tinnitus to 100 via tinnitus and hearing loss? Papa P65, I'm going to just tell you straight up. That's a dumb, stupid question. That is a stupid question. I'll die on that hill. There is no such thing as a typical path to 100 via tinnitus and hearing loss. I think you've watched way too many videos about tinnitus, secondary claims, and everyone likes to talk about them, but I'm telling you, it's a big old can of poopy butt, and you need to be properly rated. That's it. And so what that looks like for you is you need to look at the theories of service connection, which is right here. And you need to meet element 1 and 2. For direct, you need to meet element 1 and 2. For secondary, for aggravation, for whatever it is that you got going on. And if you want to look at common secondaries, you can also do that. Okay. And here's common secondaries, and you'll see ear conditions. I must have passed the ankle. Oh, here, right at the top. There's your common secondaries for ear. I just think the question you asked is really dumb. And I'm pretty confident in saying that. So, but hey, go to CivDiv.net. That's where you need to go. TheCivDiv.net. You don't have success getting out of a VA claims insider contract. I can't answer that question on live. I was stupid and signed with them before I knew about YouTube channels like yours that provide a way more valuable than what they provide. Well, I appreciate the compliment here, but it would be way out of pocket if I gave legal advice. Okay. However, I have heard that many veterans simply just don't pay them. If a claim is flagged and new CMP ordered via what? If a claim is flagged and new CMP ordered via AI BI, so Power BI is not AI, just to make that clear. There's applications you can use, but that's not what we're talking about. What happens if the results are close but not exact? I don't think it would be a rating issue. It would be a service connection issue. All right. And you're also assuming fraud has taken place, which I would not make that assumption to even get to where you're at. All right. I'm going to answer your question like this. Maybe you should just turn off the news. Just turn off the TV, turn off the internet for a good week. Go touch some grass, smell the air, let that vitamin D hit your skin, hit your skin, you know. And then go to Chick-fil-A, get a sweet tea, right? Drink it. Oh. Speaking of which, I got an orange Fanta right here. Oh my gosh, guys, my daughter drew on her face with a marker. Lila, dude. You want to show people? Come here.
No.
Come here. No. Come here. Look at this. It's blackface. Great. And now I'm canceled. I'm canceled. You got it too? You got marker on you too? Hey, no more markers. Okay, don't play with markers. I'm gonna finish this live. I'm gonna go for an hour, and then I got some work to do upstairs. Okay. Can y'all play down here? Don't go back upstairs, okay?
Daddy,
Yes.
I want Baby Shark.
Find me the remote.
Oh
my gosh. I gotta go fix that. And when this stream hits an hour, I'm gonna peace out. Why does VSR do the slow ask on evidence needed for IU? I did all others. Then now they sent out that form. Yay, so frustrating. Thank you for what you do. 7%. Thanks to a bunch of you guys here on YouTube. Okay, first off, that's awesome. Thank you for being a member. I appreciate that. And the claim process is the claim. The process does work. I know it's frustrating. I would urge veterans to have a little bit more faith in the VA's claim process because it does work for a lot of veterans. And when it doesn't work, you have other avenues like a claims agent and an attorney that will fight denials for you. So, okay, great question, and then I'll answer that. Is evidence-based claims still a thing, or is your new venture replacing that? So I am completely absolving, I have to, for obvious reasons, completely absolving myself of that company legally, which is based in Virginia. And Jason's going to basically take full ownership and run with it as is. Every coach there I've trained. I'm just essentially quitting like you would any other normal job. You know, I put my notice in, I quit. In this case, I had to do some legal documents to absolve myself of the company through the state of Virginia. And so we're doing that, right? But it's still going to go on, right? It's going to go on and do great things, you know? Thank you for your service. We appreciate that. Okay. Clay, what's your POV on Gade? That's hilarious. And how the VA and reps have moved lately since his interview. What do you think is next? Educated guess. What's your take on Project 25 and where they are? And where are they in that agenda? Okay, so we're not playing with questions today, man. You guys put me on the spot this whole time. I'll answer you. So first off, I think we're giving too much credit to Daniel Gade and his circle of influence. Now, he does have a circle of influence, specifically in the House of Representatives. Okay, he's told us that. He's told the internet that he's in those inner circles of the House Republicans. If I had to take a wild guess, it would be that. Don't fall. I forgot his name. The bald dude. Self. His name is Self. Last name is Self. But I do think we're giving him too much credit on his voice taking implementation of the VA. Right? We should keep an eye on it, but you're gonna fall. But not too much, okay?
My dress off. My dress off.
Well, take it off. You do it yourself. Okay. Next question. Oh my gosh, dude. Okay. 4 kids, dude. What's your take on Project 25? Yes. So I've done videos going line by line of VHA and VBA. Most of the things are not being implemented on Project 2025. Some of them are. Some of them have been. I'll have to do an updated video probably at the 2-year. Oh, we're already at the 2-year mark. Or the 1-year mark. So probably at the 2-year mark, I'll do that video again to see where we're at. But I do think we're giving too much credit to the old Gade there. for non-permanent markers. Yeah, I know, right? Yeah. But hey, great questions. Really put me on the spot there. Fun fact, Daniel Gade lives right down the street from me. And my neighbors know him. True story. So, fun fact of the day there. How long do I need to wait before claiming residuals on service-connected surgery? No time limit. All right? No time limit at all. I have service-connected residuals on my left wrist. The fracture itself, the scar, and the carpal tunnel. Have a claim still waiting to be seen by a judge from 18? Yeah, the Board of Veteran Appeals sucks. Why is it taking so long? Yeah, because it's a Board of Veteran Appeals. That's why. Well, turn on the light then, dude. Did a claim increase in 24, got an increase to 80. That's good news. Congrats. And then noticed last year in December that it was 70. Okay, that sucks. How do I find out why it was lowered? So it seems like a Q was identified, not in your favor. The only way I would be able to see that is after we get access, right? So if you want to check on that, you can hit us up. If not, you can use it. You can go to OGC accreditation search yourself. You can actually do that through the website too, through BDD claims, and then you have your OGC accreditation search right here. And this is how you get there. I'll link this down for you. Or you can wait until we have our beautiful, illustrious things happening. If you are rated for PTSD as your mental health, can you use depression as secondary to something like chronic pain? You can submit the claim if you want, but it's not going to move the needle because it's the general rating formula for mental health. All right. All right, how long should it be on step 3? No one can answer timeline questions. I apologize for that. Yes. I will change her in 17 minutes.
Daddy, those are numbers.
Yeah. You want to come? Yeah.
Daddy, what is this?
Hey, why don't you go play with Layton? Not a question, just saying I've been watching you since 22. I've emailed you before and you've helped me go from 80 to 100%. P&T. Project Pat. Awesome. That's great news. Congrats. And I'm glad you shared that, man, because I commented on the Salty Old Marines video where he mentioned me like 2 days ago. And don't forget, this channel was once a small channel too. And I kind of can't wait for small channels today to get big, so then other small channels will talk about them. Because I did the same thing. It's just it's a cycle of life that I'm now realizing. So, but yes, I'm glad you watched me since 2022. That's when I started this channel. It was August of 2022. Started uploading. So that's cool, man. I submitted a claim for FOIA. It's been 4 months. How long does it take? Yikes. So about a year. The reporting right now is about a year. The cool thing is your accredited rep will be able to get your C file like that. Thank you. Appreciate that. What if you're a salary employee and missed time doesn't affect you? You still use PTO or sick leave, right? Most people are salary. I was salary when I got 50. I mean, I was a federal employee. And so that rater, that DRO in my case, knew exactly what my setup looked like. Man.
Okay. Here you go.
I'm just gonna scoot over. Come here.
Yeah. Out. Yay! Yay! We did
I'm getting
it.
kicked out of my own stream, I guess. Okay. 15 minutes, guys, and then I'm dipping out. I gotta wash these kids. Don't touch my phone. Thank you. No phones allowed.
Daddy, we got a present for my
BDD claim, waiting until claim is developed.
Get
Hey,
off.
hey, if you're gonna be up here, you got shh, okay. Claim is developed before she's gonna fall. Any flags? Step 5, currently personal statements for my claims or statement about the exam. 100%, pretty much sure thing. SMC is my concern. You're on a BDD claim, going through the process. To be honest with you, I would not take advice from anyone until your BDD claim is closed. That's it, because there's nothing you can do about it. I do have a question. Well, could have asked it there. 100% P&T, I can't have access to VA loan. Why is that? Did you sell it to somebody? Right? Because if someone assumes your VA home loan, they assume it. Like, for real. My ratings raised from 10 to 50, but they did not give me pay increase or back pay. I need them. Have an attorney. That's, I don't know. There's a missing, hey, stop that. There's a missing piece here because your attorney gets paid on retroactive pay and they're going to want that. Stop touching this. There's something is happening here. But hey, you have a accredited rep or accredited attorney. Yes, go play on the swing. And so I would probably ask them questions because they're going to have the best answer for you. And you're paying them. So thanks for the answer, Devil Dog. By the way, I don't like the Blue Falcon. Yeah, I mean, it's difficult, man, because on one hand, first of all, our rights are God-given. One. But on one hand, he's definitely earned, Gade has definitely earned his opinion. 2 Purple Hearts, 1 missing leg. He's earned his opinion. The unfortunate part is his opinion is full of dog water and poopy butt. So that kind of sucks, right? But hey, to each their own. It's unfortunate that his kind of sucks. Hey. Anybody do a claim for anthrax injections they gave us before 9/11? So first off, well, many people got anthrax before, on, and after. Second, you would need a diagnosis that links to anthrax. That's the part that a lot of people miss there. What's the current HLR timeline? Man, I totally hate, Travis, that you donated for this question because you're not going to like the answer. The answer is there's not a single person on this planet that can give you an accurate timeline. Now, I'm going to try my best because you're a member and you donated, but that's the answer. Whatever I say is grounded in nothing, and I'm going to say 45 days. All right? 45 days, but just know I pulled that out of my butt. If there's a way I could refund super chats, I totally would. I'm at 90% working on my increase, but what medical benefits do my wife and daughter receive, seeing that I have them claimed as dependents? Yeah, that's easy. Nothing. Champ VA is reserved for 100% P&T veterans. So your dependents have zero health care or health insurance through the VA. I watched a live VetsCom. Yikes, they saying the VA is paying YouTubers to scare veterans. It's difficult for me not to talk crap about them because I did partner with them for a few months and then quickly changed course on that. And you could probably make the implication of why I did that, right? So if I were to talk crap about them, it would it would be very weird for me. But the things that they are saying now, for instance, there's one video they have where it starts out, is VetCom legit? And the answer is no. No claim company is legit. I mean, I don't even know why you would start. I don't even know why you would take that stance, right? And then them saying that, assuming they did say this, it's just, I wish the VA was paying me. All right. I wish I had a partnership with the VA. I don't, but I wish I did. All right. Did my own claim watching your videos, got 100% P&T. Don't you refund a penny? Oh, so, okay. The cool thing is you're 100% P&T. That's great. That makes me much happier. And I definitely appreciate it, man. Thank you. How much is your services again, Clay? So I'm not advertising. I'm absolving myself of that company. And so you're going to have to hit up Veterans Info Tab for that. Right? Because it would be like you asking me to go back to my old job, which was like a federal civilian for the Army. Right? I just quit. So you'd have to hit up Jason from Veterans Info Tab for that. That's it. Cleaned. I work for the city of New Bern, and they say if I get 100% P&T, I cannot work for them anymore. Well, they're wrong. If you're IU, you can even if you are IU, you can still work. You just have to make less than that federal income poverty limit for one, which is just above 15 grand. Always a personal statement, sometimes, most times. So my opinion on this, my thought process, did I skip? Let me make sure I didn't skip a chat here. No, I didn't. Okay. My thought process is sometimes, all right, for claims like migraines, for claims that you need to show symptom severity, that's ambiguous. Migraines is one. IBS is one. Mental health is a big one there. Critical, right? For claims like sleep apnea secondary to PTSD, your statement's not going to move the needle on the examiner's medical opinion. All right. Statements on whether or not your sleep apnea began in service, I do think it's a stretch. I would say yes, but still a stretch. Like without a diagnosis of sleep study in service, you're definitely asking for it. So, yeah, it depends on the claim, right? What to look in your medical records? Yes, all of those, all of that stuff, exactly. There you go. I'm almost curious if you type that out or use ChatGPT. But yeah, everything this person said when it comes to your blue button report, SCT and ICD. There you go, right there. Thank you, Rainbow Poopy Boy 6. Appreciate that. Any luck with the medical diagnosis that VA gives? I have several claims that were denied even though I have medical diagnosis from my VA PCP. So I'd be curious as to why you were denied. Because it doesn't sound like you were denied because you didn't have a diagnosis. It sounds like you were denied based on element 2 and element 3, right? Was it direct, and were you missing that in-service event? Was it direct, and because you're missing that in-service event, the nexus can't be made, right? Element 3. So don't use claim climbers for nexus letters. Total waste of money. Well, I try my best not to talk about any other company on the channel, although sometimes it's impossible. But I have not heard any good things about them. Nothing. There's not a single time where I've heard anything good about them. When you see your claim go from the national queue to Wichita and back, does this mean someone's actually looking at my claim? It does this about once a week. Jason, My advice to you is to stop checking the status of your claim. I assume you're using Claim Tracker there. You'd be better off not checking the status of your claim. So it means nothing. No one can answer that one. Did you Ohio State Buckeyes? No, dude. Gross. Ugh. I'm pulling my. I don't know what we would collab about. I looked at your channel and you played basketball, so I just don't know what we would. You know, your niche is not mine. Hi. They're on the seesaw, and there's a couch. There's a couch right there. So they're on the seesaw, and one's above the couch, and then they're saying hi when they come above. It's really cute. If my explanation makes sense. No worry, Clay. Still support you. Currently 90. Denied those. I tell you what, ATC, you remember? Man, wait till April 20th. And if you want us to represent you, we're more than happy to. So I'm not saying you have to wait. You can submit your own denials or your own appeals. You can use a VSO, use whoever you want. But if you were to wait just a wee bit longer, we'll be there. All right. Travis Pratt, can a VSO pull DBQs? Anyone with VBMS access, two things are needed. Anyone who has access to VBMS, they'll have a they'll have a PIV card, and you sign a power of attorney with them. 2122, that part's key there. You have to give them access. They have access. Give them access to yours. They can pull up your entire C file. Like that. Whole thing. Okay? So if someone with VBMS access tells you that they don't have it, they're straight up lying to you. Gross. My bracket's busted, by the way. I'm in last place in my group. Have you had a claim deferred? I've had claims deferred before, but at that point, I was 100% P&T and I didn't care. Hey, sorry if this has been asked already, but isn't hypertension considered secondary for a diabetes rating? So that's a weird question. All right. I think you're saying your hypertension is service connected and you want to claim diabetes, or your diabetes is service connected and you want to claim hypertension. Either way, you can submit the claim. That's not the right question. You can submit the claim easily. I can do that right now for myself through va.gov in about 3 minutes. The question is, what's your evidence, right? Why are you hypertensive? Why do you have diabetes? And are those linked together? Rainbow poopy butt. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, Travis. So his accredited VSO, assuming they have VBMS access, they can absolutely pull relevant records. All right, let me answer a few more questions. Raider HQ's here. They will go with the newer info. I mean, I don't know what he's talking about, but hey, welcome, Raider. I just saw you come in now. I have to go wash my daughter's faces somehow. I don't know how I'm going to do that. I'm just going to take them out back and hold them off like a dog, like the dogs they are. And I guess just deal with it. All right. Listen, thank you for coming out to the live. I'd ask that the next time I go live, if I skip your question, you get here first so you can ask. I go in order unless it's a super chat. And then, hey, we have a big announcement coming on April 20th. Myself and Raider HQ. It's going to be huge. Okay. And that's all I got. Peace.